Hi students, welcome to first year accounts class. We are in final accounts, the last chapter of first year accountancy. In my previous class I have explained you about the objectives, advantages and disadvantages of final accounts. Now in this class we are going to discuss very important terms which will help you to understand and prepare final accounts of a business concern. While doing the problems under final accounts like preparation of trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet, for many students it is the mystery that where a particular item is to be taken. Why do we take machinery in balance sheet? Why do we take wages in trading account? Why do we take salaries in profit and loss account? Why do we take bank overdraft in balance sheet? Like you got different items, So why a particular item is placed in a particular account? We have got total 3 items. Okay. So first you are preparing trading account. Some items you are taking in trading account. Then you have profit and loss account. Then the third we have got balance sheet. So the item which appears in trading account will not appear over here and will not appear here also. The item which appears here will not appear there. Why? How do we decide? You can't by heart. Suppose say cash in hand is taken over here. Cash in hand is taken in the balance sheet asset side. Whereas wages is taken on the debit side of trading account. Salaries is taken on the debit side of profit and loss account. Why? Sales is taken over here, whereas commission received is taken in profit and loss account. See, you are writing different items in different accounts. So there must be some rule. There must be some meaning for each and every item that decides the place. For example, when you come to college campus, within few days, all students are not sitting in one room. You are separated. Someone will even, in the recent times, you have written the half-yearly exams. So all the students of intermediate first year or second year, first year were not made to sit in one room. You were directed to different rooms. The rooms were arranged according to your classes. MEC in a particular room, CEC in a particular room, BIPC, MPC, MEC like that. So here, students belonging to a particular class were sent to a particular room. Similarly in accounts also, say these are different classrooms. So you need to know where that particular item belongs to which category or to which position. So to know this, you have to understand the meaning of capital and revenue items. This is the core concept of final accounts. If a student understands well about the capital and revenue items, then final accounts is very easy. The students who don't know what is capital and what is revenue item, they go on struggling. See, because remember this, your preparation of final accounts is not going to end with intermediate first year. It follows you as long as you learn accounting till your post graduation. Final accounts are the part of first year accounts, second year accounts, graduation, BCom all the 3 years, BBA you have taken all the 3 years, MBA you have taken all the 2 years. So till you complete your post graduation master's degree, this final accounts will be following you. So take it as a serious. It is not the matter of marks. It is a matter of knowledge, concept, what you understand by final accounts. So if you know the techniques, if you know the meaning, then it becomes very easy. Otherwise you feel very burdened and restless while doing the final accounts. Yeah, I am feeling headache, I am not able to understand final accounts, very lengthy. Okay, I am going to leave it as a choice. Like that people decide. No, it is very easy once you understand the concept behind the preparation of final accounts. So the main concept is of capital and revenue items. What do you mean by capital items? Capital items are whether it is income or expenditure. So let us discuss about one by one. First discuss about capital expenditure. Capital expenditure basically is non-recurring. What do you mean by non-recurring? Non-repeated. Repeat nahi hota. We incur only once. Like construction of our factory building or purchase of building, purchase of furniture, purchase of computers. For example, if we are establishing a junior college, we will buy the furniture. Okay, we will buy the benches to make arrangements for the student seating. So these benches, every month we don't buy, every year we don't buy. So once we buy the benches, that will give the life of 10 years or 15 years. If the college building is constructed, it will give you a life of 25 years. Bar nahi karna padta aapko. Repeatedly you need not spend. So that is the amount called capital expenditure. It is incurred for acquiring fixed assets. What are the fixed assets? Land, buildings, furniture, machinery. Okay. Why do we buy this? All these things will help you to generate income. Okay. These assets are purchased to generate income. So the other way you can say that the expenditure which is incurred by any business organization to create income, to generate income or to increase income is called as capital expenditure. For example, we have got 3 floors of our building. We have got a strength of 500 students. Now we want to construct one more floor by spending some 10 lakhs rupees. What do we get by spending the 10 lakhs rupees? That will allow our college to take admissions by 100 more numbers. So 100 more students may join in our college. So by providing that space, we can get more fees. Right now we are able to arrange only 500 students. If you construct one more floor, you can arrange for 600 students. So now you will get more fees. So like that, whether you buy furniture, whether you buy a machinery, whether you construct a building, or when you buy a piece of land, it will help you to increase the earning capacity. So that is called as capital expenditure. Now, after purchasing these assets, after establishing a business organization, maybe a college, maybe a hospital, maybe a degree college, maybe a university, whatever it may be, once you establish a business organization, you have to incur some day-to-day expenses, okay, without which you cannot manage, you cannot run your business organization. For example, you see we have established this junior college, okay, building is constructed, furniture is purchased like benches, boards, computers, etc. Everything is set. So will the college run like this? No. Even though you have fixed the fans, every month you have to pay electricity bill. Every month you have to pay internet bill. Every month you have to pay lecturer's salary. Every month you have to pay water bill. You have to pay some taxes to government. So these are to be paid repeatedly. Like if you pay 1 month salary to lecturer and you ask him to teach for the entire 1 year, will he teach? No. Every month you have to pay salary. Every month you have to pay electricity bill. Every day you have to buy fuel for your college bus. Okay, like that. You need to incur day-to-day expenses. So, the expenditure which is incurred for the day-to-day operations of the business organization is called as revenue expenditure. It is recurring in nature. Repeat hote rehta. Okay. Recurring means repeat. Every month you have to pay, or every day you have to pay, every week you have to pay. Okay, this expenditure is spent for smooth running of daily operational transactions, whatever you have to do. Okay, see, if lecturers are not paid salaries, they don't take the classes. If our bus driver is not paid salary, he won't drive the bus. If you don't buy the petrol or diesel, the bus cannot run. If you don't pay the electricity bill, you will not be supplied electricity. So that is called as revenue expenditure. So example, salaries, rent, wages, okay, electricity bill, fuel, like this you have to incur. Next, deferred expenditure means which includes both capital as well as revenue. The expenditure which has got the features of both capital expenditure and revenue expenditure is called as deferred expenditure. So normally you see the life, the benefit of the capital expenditure is okay, meant for, the benefits are derived over a long period, maybe 10 years or 15 years. Benefit will be given by the capital expenditure. Once you buy the furniture, once you construct a building, once you buy a computer, or once you buy a machinery, its benefit will be more than 10 years or up to 15 years or 20 years. Whereas the life of the expenditure of revenue nature, life of revenue nature is only 1 year, one accounting year. The life or the benefit of revenue expenditure is only one accounting period. For example, for 2021, if you pay the salaries for the lecturers, means only 1 year. Rent paid for 1 year, only 1 year or 1 month. So for whatever the accounting period you have paid, only that will give the benefit for that duration. It is not going to give the benefit beyond 1 year. But deferred revenue, deferred expenditure means it will be more than 1 year. The benefit of this deferred revenue, deferred expenditure will be more than 1 year. Example, heavy expenditure on advertisement. Heavy expenditure on advertisement. Like any college or any business firm gives some crores of rupees advertisement. So what happens? That creates a reputation in the market, creates a brand image in the market, which will help you to increase your sales, increase your business for the further 3 to 4 years period. So continuous advertisement, by spending heavy advertisement expenditure, a firm can have more sales for a period of 3 to 4 years. So beyond 1 year, you are going to get the benefit. That is called as deferred expenditure. Even you can see research and development also. When you spend some amount and you develop a new product, its benefits also will be there for you over a period of more than one accounting year. They are called as deferred expenditure. Like expenditure, we will have incomes also based on again capital and revenue. Capital income or say capital receipts are the receipts which are received only for once. Okay, capital income or capital receipts are the incomes received by the business organization only once, like sale of assets, sale of fixed assets. So you can sell only once. For example, this building owner sells off this building, he cannot sell it repeatedly, no. Same building can be sold for more than once? No. Once you are sold means you are losing your ownership rights. So by sacrificing ownership rights on any asset, that is called sale. So sale of furniture, sale of land, sale of building is called as capital receipts. Means you will get only one time lump sum amount. Now you will not be the owner of that asset in the future. I will tell you one example. If a tree is planted, it is grown up. Now if you pluck the flowers and fruits every year, you get income through the flowers and fruits. It is called revenue income. But you decide to sell off the tree, cut off the entire tree, and you sell the log or say that wooden piece to the timber depot, it is called capital income. पूरा झाड़ बेच दिए तो capital income. You sell only flowers and fruits, revenue income. Repeatedly, the asset belongs to you, simply you will be getting the income. Like suppose you are the owner of the building. If you get monthly rent, it is revenue income. You sell off the building, it becomes capital income. Okay, that is the meaning of these two. So it is non-recurring, it is recurring. So it is the income received through your regular activities. For example, a cab owner, a taxi owner takes a traveler from one place to another place and charges some amount. He collects the traveling fees, it is revenue income. But if he sell off his car, it is a capital income. Got my point? So these 5 are very, very important terms of final accounts. If you learn this thoroughly, you will be able to do problems. So hope very soon we meet in offline classes. Then I will be clarifying more doubts if you get any.